From M. Colbert, just says thanks, which I greatly appreciate. Jonathan Kelly also says, in for the jersey. Can't help it. Cowboys are my team, even if I can't stand the Jones boys, which, trust me, I understand. I understand a lot. It's not a fun time. I appreciate your guys' support. We'll keep doing the Cowboys coverage because the money goes to us, not to the Jones boys. The jersey raffle is ongoing for a limited time. $5. You are in to our George Pickens jersey raffle. We will do that this week. A super chat or a super thanks gets you into the jersey raffle. Jerry Jackson. To be honest, totally the Jones' fault regarding Micah, but Micah has been a diva. The grown man statements. To be fair, the best players are typically diva-ish, minus the quarterbacks in most cases. The quarterbacks are normally not as diva-y because there's leadership there. I don't disagree with anything. It is the Jones' fault. Not that Micah's been the most perfect Saint ever, but there have been moments. It's also just the frustration bubbling over. I think the big picture of the Jones fault in the end is my take as well. Eric says, this is the BS. This is, again, on the Micah stuff. It makes the Cowboys fans hate Dallas. Consistently wasting time, not paying players ahead of time. If they pay Micah, he's lost all heart for the organization. I would hate even if we got 2 first-round picks and go play for Dan Quinn because then they're winning the Super Bowl with Micah. I don't think you're ever going to see that Jerry Jones willingly trade Micah Parsons to the Commanders. The price of an in-division trade is going to be way more than they would ever say yes to. So I think the more likely outcome here is this drags out to late August, September, whatever. Jerry picks up the phone and calls Micah, and then the deal gets done. And, we've heard that story before too. And then it's all kumbaya because, $42 million per year ends up making everyone feel a lot better. But it happened again. Another high-paid Cowboys player with issues getting paid, or expected highest-paid Cowboys player. Who do you blame the most, for the saga? MP for Micah Parsons, JB for the Jones boys. It's the pinned comment on today's show. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Matt Temple. I want to see Joe Milton play the entire second preseason game and at least play half of the first and third game. I agree. I want him to play a lot. I don't need to see Will Grier. I don't need to see Dak Prescott. If you want to give Will Grier a drive or two, a quarter or whatever, that's fine. I don't know if he plays at least an entire game. But if we're talking, 6 quarters or 8 quarters in total over 3 games, I think that's actually pretty possible. And I do think we're going to see a lot of Joe Milton. Hopefully it's fun in the process in the preseason. I think it will be fun in the preseason. Jonathan, why are you a Cowboys fan, Tom? I know the Bengals are obviously much better, but I get secondhand embarrassment from the Jones boys. So I grew up in Cincinnati, but even dating back to when I didn't live in Cincinnati before I moved there with my family when I was in 3rd grade, I was a Cowboys fan. At this point, I am Stockholm syndrome. I'm not going anywhere. I just it's the team. I like the team, not the ownership. The players come and go. Owners are what they are. The team is still the team. I won't quit. That's, for better or for worse, I refuse to do it. So I get to live the dream job and cover my favorite team every day. And it's, I try to remember that when it's another loss. And I let them affect my mood too much. You can ask my wife. She knows that one for certain. So how many years have you been a Cowboys fan? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. From Lucid, if Mazi does bad again this year, do we trade him? I don't know if there's any trade value. It's a little expensive. You're kind of bordering on the Treylon Burks stuff there. I am worried about Mazi Smith. I question if it's going to work out. He left practice on Monday. He needs the reps. That's a bad sign. They're thin at defensive tackle. I think it's almost like if Mazi does bad again, does he make the roster? That's a valid question. It's guaranteed, but at that point, you're not going to let a couple million impact you. So I don't know. Anthony P., when Steven takes over, yuck, will he take GM too? There was a report that Will McClay had the GM title in his contract whenever Stephen Jones takes over, but I don't know if it was accurate. B, if that would even be honored. or if it's going to even apply by the time that Will's next deal would be over. So, and even if he is the GM, if he's not the GM, what's to stop Steven from meddling? His buddy is still the cap management guy. It's just concerning. Lucid, when Steven Jones takes over, we are screwed. Everyone, understandably, rightly, blames Jerry. Steven gets a lot of blame too. William Cook got closer this year. He means in the Madden Sim. I think at this point, fans would take this result. If it's kind of weird if you told them right now they make it, we'd all say yes. Once we got there, though, we would all want more. We would not be satisfied. I think we could have the big picture outcome of, overall, this is where things sit. Like it was a great season, but we still want more. Hopefully, after a day or two, we'd be like, that was better. Still got more to do, but it was better in the end. This Cowboys hoodie is on sale with our friends over at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/DAL hoodie. Link is in the comment section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/DAL hoodie. Was $55, now it is just $53. YouTube Jay, do you believe that Traeshon Holden and James Houston are on the bubble? They absolutely are. I think the last couple days in a row, Traeshon Holden has looked very good. He's made some plays. I think it should be telling that he's still with the twos. Like, the guys that are going to be on this team, barring some surprise trade or something, are George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin. Like, those guys are on this team. And, Jonathan Mingo too. Like, those are your top five. So that sixth spot, I want to mention this. Hey, it might not come down to who the best receiver is. It might be Holden, might be Brooks, might be Flournoy. That sixth guy could go to a special teamer. Maybe they only carry 5 receivers. I do think, given the complete lack of interest in Traeshon Holden, I think you could get him down to your practice squad. Like, he didn't have a very big guarantee or very big signing bonus. But he is on the bubble. And hopefully he continues to make it really hard to cut him. That would be a win for the Cowboys. James Houston, meanwhile, it's a really tough path to the active roster given the sheer depth at edge, but he's also, I think, a prime practice squad candidate. Jorge, is Dan Rodgers right that the Cowboys aren't bad at cap management? It's teams like the Eagles that hurt themselves long term. I hate Dan's takes, by the way. I'm going to play nice. The answer is no, he's not right. Look, even if Dan was right, that the Eagles' cap management of pushing things off into the future is going to hurt them in the end, who gives a shit? They won a Super Bowl. Like, they won multiple times since you've won it. Who cares? I don't care about 2031 if you just won a Super Bowl last year. It's almost not even relevant, frankly. Like, yes, if your job is to always give yourself the best flexibility each and every single year, cool, sure, yeah, Cowboys do a good job of that. That's not the goal. The goal is not to have the best healthy cap every year. It's not. The goal is to win championships. Like, that's the goal. Like, and yes, the Eagles have pushed off a bunch of money into 2031. The cap only goes up. Like, guess what the cap's going to be in 2031? Shit, it might be $40 million or $400 million. Like, it's going to be insane. And you guess what you can do then? Push it off into the future. The way the Eagles utilize their salary cap is they treat it like a credit card with a 0% interest rate and a spending limit that only goes up and no threat of the job being lost. So yeah, $1 today is worth like 5 times more than $1 tomorrow. So you would rather have that dollar now. Like, it's just like, it's like, yeah, it's not the healthiest. Who cares? Like, they're in good shape. They are. From Disaster Class Cowboys, how is Jalen Tolbert fared at camp? Better on Monday. I don't think Tolbert offers nearly the same, like, highlight reel catch ability. And that's like, it's camp. Like, I don't think we should ever just take camp and go, well, camp overrides what a player did last year. Even though I would like to have seen a bit more consistently from Jalen Tolbert in training camp. He does special team stuff, much like Kevontae Turpin, but Turpin is a return man. Like, it's kind of rare to have a receiver have a top 5 receiver and have none of them play on teams outside of returns. Because Mingo's not going to. So Tolbert, his numbers are going to go down, but I think he does make this team. Unless someone makes a surprise trade offer, I think he's a lock. Doesn't mean he's wide receiver 3. Maybe Kevontae Turpin ends up being like athlete 3 in the end, where he does some like running back / slot stuff. Who, assuming among receivers, let's go with just catches. Who has the 3rd most catches? Ferguson not included. JT for Jalen Tolbert, KT for Kevontae Turpin, JM for Jonathan Mingo, O for other. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. From Waters Gaming, is Micah getting traded or franchise tag, or does he get paid? The path would be, I think, like goal 1 would be, let's pay him. And if you don't pay him this year, you're going to tag him. They will not let him hit free agency. That would be the dumbest move in human history. To the point that, like, I think the NFL would have to step in and be like, Jerry, you no longer can be in charge. Like, come on. So then if things continue to go bad, trade becomes an option. But I think they're gonna pay him in the end. Steven, who's the worst GM now, Nico or the Jones boys? Still Nico, but if they flip Micah for a first and who's an old good player, I don't know, like not quite TJ Watt, but like Cam Hayward or something, like, then yeah, at that point, maybe it's Jerry. Roberts, I know injury's going to happen, but it's too many. What is going on that injury? It's happening a lot. I don't know. The knock on wood, as of filming, the nice part is, hasn't been a lot of bad injuries. It's been a lot of soft tissue stuff, which is a concern too, but it could certainly be a lot worse. We will be live, folks, for every single Cowboys game. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Anthony P., who is more likely to get a Christmas card from Jerry this year, Todd France or David Mulligetta? I think it's David Mulligetta. Because, Todd France does have, I think it's Brandon Aubrey. I think that's who he has. But Mulligetta's got George Pickens. So, hey, stop making enemies of the agents. Troy, what are your thoughts on moving Micah back to linebacker? I'm going to stop right there. No. The thing that makes Micah is the pass rush. Like, I like Ezra, I like Fowler. Rotate him in. Keep everyone fresh. You put Micah at linebacker, he's not going to be a great coverage player because he hasn't done it, and when he's done it, he hasn't been very good. I don't think we consider him some elite run stopper either. The things that make Micah make us want to pay him, at its core, is the pass rush. So you keep him there, and you get to have this deep crop of guys you can rotate it and keep everyone fresh, do some fun packages where you can put Micah and Fowler and Izaraku and Osa out there on 3rd and 14 and have fun